The day we have been waiting for is fast approaching, and I felt it's so important for me to share this particular update with you. It was published on the government website on the 14th of August 2025, and it's about indefinite leave to remain, also known as settlement. In this particular document, they shared the visa categories that will not be affected by this extension from 5 years to 10 years. And I felt, okay, let's just go into this particular option because it explains some things, what to expect, and the debate that is coming soon, guys. You should not miss it. Remember that the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, said she was going to have some consultations with migrants, and let me tell you, they will not come to your house and knock on the door and say, hey, what's up, what's your opinion? It's always through MPs of your constituency. And I thought, okay, let's just go into this particular document. Let's break everything down. Let's look at it as migrants and prepare ourselves for what is to come. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition abroad to be as smooth as possible. I share information about settling, working, or studying in the UK. I am not an immigration advisor, but here I share the latest update on the government website, how it appears on the government website, so that you can actually be informed. It's always good for you to go and read where I shared that thing from, so that you understand it for yourself and tailor the advice to your own personal situation. If you like anything like this, please hit on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share my videos anytime they pop up. Thank you very much. Without wasting time, let's get into this video. Amongst the 8 proposals in the white paper about changing the UK immigration rules, the one that actually stood out was that of ILR, because it's a major change. Changing it from 5 years to 10 years is a big deal. Now, the media picked up on this. Many people have been discussing this in different forums, and this has actually led to e-petitions. There are 2 e-petitions that will be debated on the 8th of September 2025. Now, the first e-petition that's going to be debated is keeping the 5-year ILR pathway for existing skilled worker visa holders. Currently, it's at 161,000 plus signatures, and the other one is keep 5-year ILR terms to Hong Kong British national overseas visas, and currently it's at 107,000 signatures. Now, we know that they want indefinite leave to remain to be end settlement, and there are some particular criteria that they want to put in place. They have not announced the criteria yet, but we all know that some of the things that matters to the UK include age, the profession, because they don't want many people to leave the UK as doctors and nurses. They want people who are in the UK to stay back. That's the reason why nursing is 3 specialisms, like doctor, children, and mental health. They don't want them to migrate to the US just like that. I'm just saying. If I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong. But I feel these are some of the things that they do to retain healthcare professionals in the UK. Now, I know that some of the things they might consider is the average salary that you earn, maybe as a household or as an individual. Now, when you check some of these things, with these latest changes in immigration rules that they actually separated the skilled worker visa into different sections. We used to have skilled worker visa list, immigration salary list, and we had that eligible healthcare and teaching occupations. But now there's that temporary shortage list, which we know that they might actually say, okay, we feel you're not contributing enough to the UK economy and society, and those people might be affected. This is just what I think. That's the reason why they created that demarcation. I'm just saying, the way this thing is going, I feel it's time for you to contribute. If you feel that you want your ILR to be 5 years instead of 10 years, you need to equip your MPs with the right information that will prepare them for that particular debate that they're going to have on the 8th of September 2025. This is just my opinion. What do you think about this? Write it in the comments. Now, there are other things that I feel is so important for me to share with you. They shared which visa categories will be affected by the longer qualifying period. And the visa categories that they said will not be affected include the partners of British citizens and those people who are victims of domestic abuse. We also know that another category that will not be affected are people with post-Brexit residence rights under the EU settlement scheme. We are expecting some changes to family visa coming up towards the end of this year. We don't know when those changes will come up, but I've always been telling people, if you are due for an ILR, please submit an application as soon as possible. If you don't know how to calculate whether you are due for an ILR or not, I'll put a calculator in the description. Just go to the description, put in the right figures, and it will tell you when you should submit. You know, you cannot submit anything earlier than 28 days till the time when your continuous stay has elapsed. And for some people, it's 5 years. I know there are some people that under the 10-year route, but they're under the family route. But I'm just concentrating on those people who are under the 5-year route to settlement. Now, we know that the government wrote in the white paper technical annex that by changing this rule from 5 to 10, some people already in the UK will be discouraged and they will leave. In fact, in their exact words, they said a number of those currently in the UK are likely to leave due to it taking longer to gain settled status. Will it affect only students? Will it affect people on the graduate visa route, or those people who have that skilled worker visa? And I've told you guys that if you are under the student route or the graduate visa route, the truth is that the best thing for you to do is to switch to a skilled worker visa now, as soon as possible, before the rules come. Because after this debate and they finalize some of these things, remember that if a Cooper cannot come to your house and knock on the door and say, hey, what's up? What do you think about this? Sometimes they have to get that information through MPs. Now, how do you equip your MPs to argue the cases for you and not against you? Is by writing to your MP, sending emails, I wouldn't say phone calls is the best, but emails or letters will actually help. There are people from different communities that are actually doing this. They are not silent about it. I just want to say kudos to you all who have taken out that time to write that thing down. And they're arguing their cases, explaining how it's going to affect their family life, how it's going to affect their work, their career, how they're contributing to the economy or society, and how living here would not be good for them. Some of us call this place home right now. Yes, home is wherever our loved ones are, where we are loved, where we grow in our career, where we are contributing to the society and we feel accepted. That's what home is. Now, I feel it's so important for people to take that particular step and write those letters and emails, preparing themselves or preparing their MPs to argue during that particular debate that's going to take place on September 8, 2025. Because the government has not outrightly said it's not going to affect those people already in the pathway. But they're going to make up their mind after they have consulted everybody. I don't know whether there is going to be a special, situation where they would tell migrants to come in and they would talk to them one-on-one. I don't know how many people can fit into a room to explain their situation. I don't know. But I know that there is one key thing that the government is after. They don't want people to switch to indefinite leave to remain and start taking benefits. And they believe that if you're a low income earner, that if you work and get that ILR, you are likely to stay back and start taking benefits. This is what they believe. And that is why I have been seeing so many petitions and some arguments online. They are proposing that if you switch to ILR, that you will not be eligible for benefit for at least 10 years after. That is one argument that they are coming up with. That if they leave it to stay there, I saw it somewhere, I can't remember the place I got it from, but they are saying if maybe a particular date, from that date, if they leave the ILR to be 5 years, but once you switch, you won't be able to get benefit for at least 5 years or 10 years. I've seen it some places. I saw another petition online that states that they should allow the ILR to be 10 years. Yes, some people are saying that, and that if they don't do that, it's going to cost the taxpayers £230 billion. guys, things are actually happening. I'm just sharing this with you so that you will not be silent. You will just do what you can do. Equip your MPs with the right information that will help them move forward with their life, because this is a difficult situation. When you keep applying for visa approval, you are paying IHS fees, £1,035 every year. You are paying for many other things. You are writing IELTS. Don't forget that aspect. They want this natural progression when it comes to IELTS, and dependents will be required to write IELTS, guys. We are not talking about maybe you will not write. They want to change that, and that one is going to happen towards the end of this year. Now, when you think about everything, it's going to cost you more, much more, because if you fail the first one and you could not achieve the next level that they want, the progress in the IELTS, you are going to write it over and over again while you're working, guys. Meeting the 37.5 hours a week is just complicated. There are just so many layers to this particular thing. And right now, like I said, since they've separated that skilled worker visa to skilled worker visa, we have the temporary shortage list. They have already shown a demarcation, which means that those people under the temporary shortage list might be affected, guys. You know that right now they said they cannot bring dependents from the 22nd of July 2025, but there might be other rules that they will implement. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Share it in the comments. Be respectful. We are nice people here. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.